Oh, incredible.
Amazing. What's all this?
3 others. Looks like they don't seem to know what was going on either. I'd been in the library only moments before, but then... Why? Just where am I? It's a room. The walls are made of stone. Is that what they call brick? I don't think it's anywhere I've been before. And it's certainly not the library. The floor's covered in geometric patterns that look to have been painted in some sort of fluorescent material. There's also an altar of some kind. It looks like something magical, straight out of a fantasy. And we're standing on the altar. Huh? Wait a second. Why am I holding a shield? It's stuck to me?
Where are we?
I'm wondering the same thing myself.
Oh, heroes! Please save our world!
What? What is that supposed to mean?
There are many complications in this situation, but to offer a simple answer to your question, we have just completed an ancient ceremony and summoned you 4 heroes.
Summoned?
Yes, that was it. There was a really good chance that it was all some prank, but there seemed nothing wrong with hearing them out. Besides, it's more fun to be pranked than to prank someone else anyway. I don't mind that sort of thing. I think it's fun.
Our world teeters on the brink of destruction. Heroes, please lend us your strength.
The robed men. They're bowing very deeply to us. Well, it wouldn't hurt
I don't
to.
think so.
Yeah, me neither.
We can go back to our world, right? We'll talk about your problems after that.
Wait, what? Did they think it was okay to speak to someone like that? Someone that was bowing to us, out of desperation? Why couldn't they save their conclusions until after they'd heard the bulk of the situation? I guess they caught me glaring at them. The 3 of them were looking me over. What were they smiling about? We could all feel the room growing tense. What jerks. I bet they were actually happy to be there. Think about if it were true. They'd get the chance to have adventures in another world. It'd be a dream come true. Sure, it's a cliche, but still, could we at least hear them out? The guy with the sword looked like he might have been in high school.
Don't you feel any guilt for calling people into your world without their permission?
Besides, even if we save you and bring peace to your world, you'll just send us back home, right? That just sounds like a job to me.
The man with the bow was glaring at the robed men.
I wonder how much you've considered our opinion on this. I wonder how it could be worth our while. Depending on how the conversation goes, keep in mind we might end up enemies of your world.
So that's how it was. That's what they wanted. This is when they try and figure out their standing and demand a reward. Well, they certainly were an outspoken, confident bunch. I felt like I was somehow losing to them.
Yes, well, we would very much like you to speak with the king. He will discuss future compensation with you in the throne room.
Whatever.
Fine.
I don't think it really matters who we talk to, but whatever.
My outspoken companions followed the robed men. Well, I don't want to be left behind. We walked out of the darkened room and down a hallway made of stone. How should I describe it? The air felt fresh. And I can't think of any other words for it. Vocabulary has never been my strong suit. We were able to steal a glance through a window. The scenery took our breath away. This really is a fantasy world. The clouds were high in the sky for as far as I could see. There, below us, a town spread out from the building we were in. All the houses lined up pretty, just like one of those European cities you'd see featured in a travel brochure. I wanted to pause for a minute and take it all in, but there was no time. We hurried past the window and down the hall, and soon enough, we arrived at the throne room.
Huh. So these kids are the 4 holy heroes?
So much for first impressions. I just can't stand people who condescend.
My name is Aultcray Melromarc the 32nd, and I rule these lands. Heroes, show me your faces!
Oh, I want to yell. I guess he seems to be a king of some sort. But can he shut up?
Now then, I shall begin with an explanation. This country, no, this whole world is on the brink of destruction.
Well, I guess that makes sense considering you'd call us from another world.
Yeah, figures.
Now then, heroes, many waves will appear over the world again and again until nothing remains. Unless the waves are repelled and their accompanying calamities are avoided, this world is doomed. The prophecy was foretold from long ago, this very moment. Here, we have a large and ancient hourglass that will signal the times. The hourglass predicts the arrival of the waves, and its sands began to fall 1 month ago. According to legend, the waves will come in 1 month intervals. In the beginning, we and all the citizens of the land mocked the legends. However, when the sands in the hourglass began to fall, a great calamity visited the land. A fissure appeared in our country, Melromarc, a fissure to another dimension. Terrifying and horrible creatures crawled out from it in great numbers. At the time, our country's knights and adventurers were able to repel the advance of the creatures. But the next wave is prophesied to be even more terrible. At this rate, the country is doomed, and we had no way to ward off the impending disaster. Considering the situation nearly hopeless, we have decided to summon you heroes from another world.
Alright, I think I understand where you're coming from, but does that mean you're basically commanding us to help you?
Seems all fine and good. For you.
I agree. All this sounds pretty self-centered to me. If your world is on the road to destruction, just let it burn. I don't see what it has to do with us.
As they've said, we don't have a responsibility to help you. If we dedicate our time and lives to bringing peace to your kingdom, do we get anything besides a thanks and see you later? I mean, I guess what I really want to know is if there is a way for us to get home. Could you tell me anything about that?
Of course, we are planning to compensate you for all your efforts.
Yes! Phase 1 of negotiations complete.
Naturally, I've made arrangements to support you financially, and also to provide you with whatever you may require, in thanks for your efforts on our behalf.
Oh yeah. Cool. Well, as long as you'll promise us that, I don't think we'll have an issue.
Don't think you've bought us off. As long as we aren't enemies. I'll help you out though.
Agreed.
Me too.
Why do they all have to act so superior all the time? Think about where we are. Do they really want to make an enemy of the king? Still, I guess it was good to get all the particulars out of the way in advance, rather than risk losing everything down the road.
Very well then, heroes. Tell us your names.
Wait a second. I just noticed something. Doesn't all this sound similar to the book I was reading in the library? The records of the 4 holy weapons. A sword, spear, bow, and yes, a shield. Even the 4 heroes were the same. Could I have somehow gotten pulled into the world of that book? It seems possible.
My name is Amaki Ren. I am 16 years old and a high school student.
The sword hero, Amaki Ren. He was an attractive young guy. His face was handsome, and he was relatively short, maybe 160 centimeters. If he cross-dressed, you'd mistake him for a girl in an instant. His face was so composed. His hair was black and cut short. His eyes were sharp and his skin was white. Overall, he gave off a cool impression, like a quick slander swordsman.
Alright, I'll go next. My name is Kitamura Motoyasu. I'm 21 and a college student.
The spear hero, Kitamura Motoyasu. He came off as lighthearted and kind, something like an older brother. His face was at least as well kept as Ren's, the type of guy who was sure to have a girlfriend or two. He was probably around 170 centimeters. His hair was pulled back into a ponytail. I normally don't like ponytails on men, but it seemed to suit him. Overall, he seemed like a caring older brother.
Okay, it's my turn. I'm Kawasumi Itsuki. I'm 17 and still in high school.
The bow hero, Kawasumi Itsuki. How to explain it? He seemed vain, and yet, at the same time, he held some unrevealed strength. There was something indefinite about him, something vague. He was the shortest among us, probably somewhere around 155 centimeters. His hairstyle was slightly wavy, as if it had been permed. He was like a soft-spoken younger brother. Apparently, we were all Japanese, though I would be pretty surprised to see a foreigner here anyway. Oh, my turn already? I guess I'm last. My name is Iwatani Naofumi. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a college student.
Now then, Ren, Motoyasu, and Itsuki, correct?
Your Grace, you've forgotten me.
Ah, yes. Pardon me, Mr. Naofumi.
So the old guy was a little slow on the uptake. But you know, I was still feeling somehow out of place among them all here.
Now then, heroes, please confirm your status and give yourselves an objective evaluation.
Huh? What did he mean by status?
Excuse me, but how are we supposed to evaluate ourselves?
You mean to say that you all haven't figured it out yet? Didn't you realize at the moment you arrived here?
Oh, come on. He just knew everything. Was that it? Guess he was some kind of genius.
I mean, haven't you noticed any weird icons hanging out in your peripheral vision?
Huh?
Just focus your mind on that icon.
If you looked off vaguely and focused on the soft edges of your field of vision, there were little marks there. Just like I was sitting in front of a computer, the icon expanded to take over my field of vision. It was like opening an internet browser.
Iwatani, Naofumi, Class, Shield Hero, Level 1. Equipment, Small Shield, Legendary Weapon. Otherworld, Clothes. Skills, none. Magic, none.
There were still quite a few things listed, but I decided to ignore them for the moment. So this is what the king meant by status. Wait, just what the hell was all this? It felt like I was in a game.
Level 1. That makes me nervous.
Good point. At this rate, who knows if we'll even be able to fight at all?
What is all this?
Do these things not exist in your world, O heroes? You are experiencing status magic. Everyone in this world can see and use it.
Really? I'm amazed at how normal everyone seems to think it is. This numerical expression of your physical body.
And what are we supposed to do? These numbers seem awfully low.
Yes, well, you need to go on a journey to further polish your abilities and to strengthen the legendary weapons you possess.
Strengthen them? What? You mean these things aren't strong right from the get-go?
That is correct. The summoned heroes must raise their legendary weapons by themselves. This is how they will grow strong.
Why don't we use different weapons while these ones are bulking up? Seems smart to me.
That does seem like a good idea. And besides, I'm stuck with a shield. Not even a weapon in its own right. I better get another weapon.
We can work all that out later on. Right now, we should focus on improving ourselves. Just like the king has asked us to do.
Are we gonna form a party? The four of us? This is so exciting. We're heroes summoned from another world. It felt a little like manga, but any otaku worth his salt would jump at a chance like this. My heart's pounding in my chest, and I can't get myself to calm down. It looks like the other heroes around me feel the same way.
Wait just a moment, heroes. The four of you should set out separately to recruit your own companions.
Why is that?
According to the legends, the legendary weapons you possess will interfere with one another. Should you form a party, both your weapons and yourselves can only grow when you are apart from one another.
I don't really understand all that, but if we stay together, we can't level up, right?
Huh? Just as we were wondering why, all of us found instructions near our weapons.
Attention. The legendary weapons and their owners will experience adverse effects if they fight together. Caution. It is preferable that the heroes and weapons are used individually.
I guess it's true then. But why did all this sound so much like a game? It was like I'd been transported into a game. Anyway, games don't feel this real. And there were real humans living here. So I guess it was still a reality of one kind or another. Still, the system reminded me of a game, nonetheless. The instructions on the weapons went on at great length and detail, but there wasn't enough time to read them right then.
So you think we should try and form our own parties?
I will attempt to secure travel companions for you all. Regardless, evening draws near. Heroes, you should rest for the night and prepare for departure on the morrow. In the meantime, I will find companions for you from the village below.
Thank you very much.
After we had all thanked the king, we retired to our room for the night.